This project has been nothing but one disaster after another. How am I expected to get this ziggurat built on time when things constantly go wrong? Don't mind me. I'm just having one of those days. Our blessing stone? Do you know what happens if we give up our blessing stone? Well, neither do I, but I'm sure it won't put us back on schedule or end our string of disasters. I'm not one to disagree with the Archcanon, but that's a terrible idea. Lord Vivek! Well, why didn't you say so? But I'll need your help before I can turn over the blessing stone. The passage that leads to the consecration chamber collapsed, trapping some of my workers. If you can clear the way, you can borrow the stone. I appreciate the help. Just remember that you're only borrowing the stone. It needs to be back in the consecration chamber before the next shift, or we'll never get this ziggurat constructed in time.
I'm burning up. I need help!
Thank you. I'll go tell the Overseer what you did for me.
I can't seem to get ahead here.
I thought I was gonna die under there. Oh, thanks for saving me.
Spy or not, Ira Earthturner deserved better than death.
Honest merchant, trust this one.
Praise Vivek!
The Outlander returns. I understand there was trouble at the construction site, but you were able to save a few of the workers. Lord Vivek always draws the straightest arrow from the quiver. Praise the tribunal. Did you bring the blessing stone? Hear the words of the warrior poet, and reveal the source of Lord Vivek's distress. An Ashlander? A clockwork mage? A Daedric cultist? Something interfered with the ritual, my lord. But we may have learned something. Excuse me while I compare the results to our previous research.
Between the cryptic warnings of the ancestor spirit and the unexpected result of the divination ritual, I fear there may be more astir than I imagined. We solved the greatest mysteries by accident, I suspect. I should write that down. We learn from every action we take. Failure or success, each result teaches us something, at least in the larger sense. To be more specific, no, not as much as I hoped. Images that suggest avenues to investigate, riddles to solve. Let me tell you a secret, Outlander. It concerns a living god, an energy that fades like daylight as dusk spreads across the land. Listen well, and speak not a word. My divine energy, it drains away. Whether from illness or foul malady, I know not. You must travel the land and seek answers on my behalf. But first, gratitude before service, as I have written. So thank you. The ritual confirmed my worst fears. Divine energy flows out of me for no reason that I can discern. I felt the power imbued within my blessing stone get wrenched away as soon as you added it to the ritual. I couldn't stop it. To quote my own words as the warrior poet, no lock exists that the determined thief cannot open. Follow the trail of my missing energy, and try to discover the identity of the enemy Levol's ancestor warned us about. Something drains my energy. Find Archcanon Tarvis in his office, and ask if he gleaned anything useful from the ritual. If not, I know his earlier research indicated new avenues to investigate. Go where he tells you, and learn what you can. My divine energy diminishes with every passing moment, but the ritual confirmed my affliction is not natural. I regret that I could not reveal the full nature of these dire circumstances until your trustworthiness had been demonstrated. Yes, while Archcanon Tarvis has always been cautious about ideas and ideologies that didn't originate within the Tribunal, and recently, that prudence has grown 1,000-fold. He's a faithful servant, however, despite his narrow-mindedness. I've always used my power freely, and without detriment. I create the blessing stones, hold the moonlit above the city, and perform 100 miracles a day to benefit my people. I begin to feel the toll this liberal application of divinity costs me. I care little for my own safety, but my people are another matter. Without my power to stop it, the moonlit will crash into the city and kill hundreds, perhaps thousands of innocents. And that would be just the start of Vvardenfell's woes. At first, I barely noticed the loss of energy, but as I continue to grow weaker, the more it feels like an attack against my person. Besides, the ancestor spirit confirmed that an ancient enemy was to blame. We just need to determine who before... Let us not dwell on disasters to come when we have problems enough to deal with in the here and now. Consult with Archcanon Tarvis and discover the source of this attack. Then we can put an end to it and not worry about what might have been. They always chide me about my flagrant displays of divinity. But so far, I am the only one of the living gods whose power is fading. Almalexia hoards her energy and has barricaded her temple against attack. As for Sothasil, my brother travels. We have not heard from him for quite some time, but I sense that he remains safe and in possession of his full power. Funny, he always wanted to discover the limits of our divinity. Perhaps I will solve that mystery for him.
I performed that ritual countless times, and it never exploded in my face before. If I discover that you sabotaged the divination... No. I shouldn't take my failure out on you. It's not your fault that things are... difficult. How do you know about... Lord Vivek told you? Of course he did. It's his prerogative, I suppose. You must swear to keep this secret, though. There would be panic in the streets if the people believed one of the tribunal was incapacitated. It's true. I'm much better at scholarly pursuits than field work, and the ritual wasn't a total failure. It confirmed 3 locations from my earlier studies: Balmora, Aldrin, and Berelzar's tower. I need you to investigate each of these sites. I researched what I could using the resources available here in Vivek City. To learn more, I need an agent to personally assess each location. Lord Vivek thinks you're the best one for that job. I hope he's right. I believe the mage seen in the ritual is Berelzar, who works out of an ancient Velothi tower. His experiments radiate energy similar to Vivek's affliction, but they're not a perfect match. Find out what he knows about the transfer of divine energy. House Redoran controls the town and nearby mines. House Halalu also has interests in the region. Rumors of a cult in the area concern me the most. I believe we saw a cultist during the ritual. Make discreet. I have no idea. That's why we're sending you. I suggest you start at the inn. Secrets get spilled along with the drinks in such places. The miners may know something as well. I've heard that House Redoran has issued some kind of proclamation. Savage Ashlanders, like the one seen in the vision, use the area as a tribal meeting ground. These nomadic heretics deny the divinity of the tribunal and have no love for Vivek. But how they could be involved eludes me. See what you can uncover. I traced tendrils of Vivek's energy to these locations, and the ritual confirmed the connection before it went awry. Just don't discuss Lord Vivek's condition with anyone. We don't want to start a panic. If anything changes here, I'll contact you.
You there. So I was right. You're a sword for hire. Excellent. My name is Marla Rethan of House Hlalu, and I have a proposition for you. I need someone to investigate what's going on in the Vvardenfell ebony mine. Piqued your interest, have I? Capital. My brother Benar and I share ownership of the mine, but I suspect he's hiding something from me. The little weasel's even locked down the entrance. Only his personal guards are allowed inside. There are only 2 keys to the mine. Benar keeps one in our manor house. The other is carried by the mine's foreman, Nox. I want you to procure a key, either one, and then search the mine for any sign of mischief. Report back with your findings. Foreman Nox is somewhere in Balmora. It should be simple enough to pluck the key from his pockets. Or, if you prefer burglary, you could take my brother's key from the desk in his study. Our manor is just up the hill to the west of town. My dear brother prefers to keep our roles in the business separate. He runs the mine while I handle the finances. He doesn't interfere with my work, nor I his. That's the agreement. Oh, I have, but Benner tells me nothing. It's just secure more buyers and hire more workers. He gets dreadfully annoyed when I press him about my concerns. Like, why do we need so many miners? Even the townsfolk are starting to talk about that. You haven't heard the rumors? The cursed mine of Vvardenfell, they call it. They go in, but they don't come out. Now, just inane ghost stories, truth be told. But if the rumors persist, it could soil our reputation. Well, the mine has underperformed for years. I'd actually considered selling it. Until recently, that is. Ebony has been pouring out of the mine these past few months. Normally, I'd be overjoyed, but that's also when Benner became distant. Anything out of the ordinary. I don't suppose you'd know the difference between pure ebony and... Never mind. Just give the mine a good look and keep an eye out for mischief. If you find anything odd, bring it back with you. I have many important clients that depend on the success of this mine. They'll hold me personally responsible if anything isn't correct. I'd like to avoid that kind of unpleasantness. Well, the key should be no trouble. My brother is away at the moment, and the house guards are not exactly the keenest. If you choose to pickpocket the foreman, well, just avoid the city watch, I suppose. That's the rub. The mine is well guarded. My brother insisted that I hire only the rowdiest and most ill-tempered mercenaries, so I brought on the Iron Hound Company. I can vouch for their pugnacity. I'd prefer to avoid bloodshed, of course, but I don't want to tip my brother off. If he is up to something, I'll need deniability to maintain the element of surprise. Besides, they're mostly criminals, drunks, and skooma addicts. Expendable, yes?
Step up, have a look.
I can't believe they want us to go outside the house to find Vaya.
Come, drink up, forget your troubles. What are we drinking to? Where did it go? Someone help me!
You do not want to get on my bad side. Trust me.
You... I don't recognize you. You've made a terrible mistake in coming here. Do you feel it yet? The cold rush through your veins, the stiffness in your joints. Only a matter of time now. Only a matter of time. You really haven't figured it out. You're denser than those stone fiends. Master Rethan brought me on to study a Daedric text, a formula for turning living flesh into a substance akin to ebony. Not a perfect match, but close enough. Something like that. But what does it matter? I'll be frozen solid soon, black as midnight. A commodity, nothing more. Ironic. You mean to rob me, I suppose. The scroll's just there. Have a care with it. Wealth always comes at a price. None. Well, none that I've discovered anyway. I speak modestly when I say that if there was a cure, I would have found it already. I guess I could squander my remaining hours searching for a remedy, but I'm an alchemist, a daedrologist. We don't trouble ourselves with things like hope. I leave that nonsense to priests and children, the mentally ill. What? Afflicting all these miners? Oh, spare me your crude moral outrage. They were wastrels, laborers that were too ignorant or too lazy to find work anywhere else. This is as meaningful a contribution as they were likely to make. None. I'd invite you to kill me, but given that I'll be dead soon anyway, it's hardly worth the effort. Why do you even care? Oh, fine. I altered the formula, turning the liquid decoction into a vapor. It proved to be very effective. Unfortunately, it was nearly impossible to contain. Hence, this.
Ah, I'm glad to see you made it back in one piece. So, what have you learned? Anything? What? Well, that sounds ghastly. To think that my own brother would be capable of such a thing. We must move quickly. Did you find any evidence? I'll need something concrete if I'm to convince the Hlalu trade barons to intercede. Well done. I have a final task for you, if you're willing. I must take this to the trade baron, Councillor Riveth. He's staying at the Balmora Inn. Alas, Benna has many contacts in town. If he hears that I'm meeting Riveth, he may try to flee. Travel to the Rethan Manor House and detain Benna. Once I've explained matters to Riveth, he'll send Hlalu constables to collect my brother. After this, I'll ask nothing more of you. You have my word. That the men I worked tirelessly to hire were being used as fodder for some vile experiment? Absolutely not. It's appalling. Why would I have sent you to discover what was going on if I already knew? Yes, I hired him at my brother's insistence. Something about valuable books and scrolls found in the shrine. We planned to sell them off once Gavros translated them. That's what I thought, anyway. Wait, Gavros is still alive? I see. That is unfortunate. But I suppose that's the risk you take when you start brewing foul decoctions and poisoning innocent miners. Not long. He tends to be brusque. Once I've explained the situation, he'll waste no time bringing Benna in for questioning. It will be brief, I assure you. They will punish him severely. He'll definitely lose his share of the estate and the ebony mine. He may even lose his life. In either case, I'll have to bear the weight of our family assets alone.
Piece of the puzzle. Time to tie up loose ends.
Malarethan. What a swit. I'm going to need a stiffer drink. You don't appear to be holding my drink, so I'm sure I have no interest in you. Off with you. I am. Young Mahler and I were talking about the sudden success of his mining enterprise, built on some irregularities that I'd prefer not to discuss. Not that it's any of your business. Who are you? Why are you meddling in Hlalu business? My, this is damning. Dear Mahler tried to hang this whole business around his brother's neck, and yours. A prudent, albeit sloppy affair. House Hlalu can ill afford such a scandal, and I hate to be lied to. Kill Mahler, and I will reward you. What would I do with him? Chain him to a post? His life no longer serves the house's interests. I don't expect an outlander to understand, but this needs to be done. Honestly, I doubt he'll give you a choice in the matter. His city residence, I expect, just across the river. Do be quick about this. I'm anxious to be done with the Brothers Rethan. No. What scroll? Don't tell me there's more to this fetching disaster. Does it now? Listen carefully. Don't breathe a word of this to anyone else. If Mahler has this formula, bring it to me. The reward will be significant. We cannot let this get out, and we cannot let it fall into the wrong hands. By the three, what a mess. I'll put some of my Oathman on it. Oathman I can trust. If we can clear out the riffraff, it might be salvageable. If not, we'll simply collapse the thing. Better to bury it than let some fool stumble upon Mahler's folly. quietly now. Is it finished? Well then, this unfortunate little tale comes to an end. I've already dispatched some of my best agents to clean up Rethon Manor. We'll tend to Marla's apartment and the mine next. Well done. Now, what of this mysterious scroll? Excellent. Best hand it over to me. Something so dangerous should not fall into the wrong hands. House Hlalu can keep it safe, or destroy it if we deem it necessary. This will earn you some favor with our house. I'll even double your pay. You sniveling little swit. Do you know how valuable... Never mind. What's done is done. But don't expect any extra coin from me now. You'll have what was promised for killing Marla and not a drake more. This had better buy your silence as well.